Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am trying to show my eyeshadow collection today, and I'm just going to start with my palettes. If you watched my last video, then you know that I am trying to use every eyeshadow in all of my palettes 5 times each, which is a bit hard. So I have a little note with each palette to help keep track. This was just me messing up with how many were supposed to be in this one. And so you can see I have not been using this one a lot. What I've been trying to do to go through methodically is use, when I pull in a palette, use every shade in it at least once before rotating it out, just so I'm not going to try to do like all 5 at once and get bored. Now some of them, I'm going to use more frequently. So like I like using eyeshadow in my brows. So like if I have dark shades, then I'll use those, or I'll use them as liner. It's easy to deepen up any kind of look with like a basic brown or black. I'm going to use my white as, up by my brow bone. I can do that, so some of these are going to get used more than the 5 or close to it, really quickly. So this palette is from Makeup Revolution, and you can see that it's been used a while. We've got this really broken, this broke off a long time ago, but it was the Emily Noel palette, and I have hit pan on a number of the shades. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of the 24. So I had a goal of trying to hit pan in over half of the shades in each of my palettes. So we'll see as we go through if I've actually done that, because no, I know I have not in some, because some of my newer ones. This one is BH Cosmetics Weekend Festival. And so this is, actually, I would say this is a favorite. This is one I've liked a lot. I'm not a big palette person anymore, but it has a lot of fun colors in there for me. So this one you can see I had already gone through and used everything once. So I'd had this in already this year and rotated it out. And I also have over half are panned in here. In fact, the only ones that are not, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just 5 that are not out of 20. So pretty good there. Some of these are a little different, like they're not just a sparkly type of shimmer. Like this one I like for the inner corner because it's a nice little glow to it. It's not just sparkly. And I use this one as a satin. I use that more as like a blush at times, just for fun. And yeah, just they're actually like still really good quality. The browns are a little warm for me, so especially this one, and they're kind of similar. Actually here, they on the eye, they look pretty similar to me. So, maybe not my favorite for that. I'm also not a big brown eyeshadow person anyway, so I get more use out of the other ones. So next we have this one from Juvia's Place, the Zulu palette. I have not used it yet this year, so there's no tally marks. And I have pan on 3 of the shades, which it was quite hard to get those for me. I'm not sure how I would pan this palette. I know some people have, but I don't require much pigment on my pale skin, so these I can just do like a little dip and it is plenty. Although this is not really, I don't know. I mean, it is getting old, so there is that, but I feel like that doesn't actually show up as dark as I remember, so there's that. All right, if we stick with Juvia's Place, this one I had brought in this year, so you can see that some of the shades I actually finished off, and then I've gotten use on all the other colors. This one is definitely also getting old in the sense that these 2 never performed my, favorite, but they're hard to use, especially now. This one as well, but the other ones are pretty good. And some of them though, like this one is the exact same as the pink here, which is really annoying. It's also the exact same as this pink in here. So clearly it's a favorite, or it was at the time when I was buying these different palettes. Not a favorite for me, just for companies to put in their palettes. So, and again, these are a little bit warm, so it's hard for me to use them a lot because they just show up really warm on me. I just have so many oranges that I don't know what to do with. Oh, and this was the Magic, and it's the mini one. I don't have any other Juvia's Place, but if we're sticking with palettes I've had for a while, this one I also showed in my last video, and you can see I have pan in 5 of the 7 shades. Oh, I didn't say how much pan was in this one. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 out of the 16. Okay, so this one, oh, as you can see, it's the Elf by J. Kissa. So I used to take this one a lot when I would travel because I like just having, I could just pick a color and then, you know, keep it basic. I would bring in some special singles with me and I'd be good to go. And as far as like my use, you can see I finished off. This was when I was thinking about trying to actually like finish. And this one though, I haven't used this shade yet, so it is still in with my palettes that I'm keeping in my whole makeup bag. This is the Marvelous Mauves by Dose of Colors. So I've made good use out of this one. This was one I was thinking about trying to use up. Not sure if that's gonna happen, especially with this shade in particular. But some of these are pretty close. But yeah, I had to pan actually then for all of it because I'm like, I've had you long enough. I should be able to do it. It's only 5 shades and I did it last year. So there's that. Another palette that I've used a lot for travel is this one from Persona. It's the Identity palette, the first one. And I like it because it has, you know, some warmer colors, some cooler colors, easy shimmers, but I can mix it with some singles. So again, this was another one that I've had for a while. I'm like, I've used you enough. Let's make sure we have pan in every single shade, which we did. By we, I mean me. This palette was a present, gosh, how many Christmases ago now? I can't remember. But I got this from a friend, and you can see I have pan in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of the 20 shades. So I did get my half. And, you know, I've used these a bunch. Some of them, again, like a black is actually a good black. And so I can feel a dip in there, but it's not going to get pan anytime soon. I know that. But there's actually, I know people said things about this palette, but I actually kind of like how the shimmers feel. They're nice and silky. They've got a good shine to them, very metallic looking. This black with sparkle and purple with sparkle, they're just annoying because the sparkle just ends up all over my face. This doesn't actually show up. Can we show it at all? Yeah, you can see like there's like little bits of purple specks. All right, I'm not sure I get this to focus. I'm sorry. Oh, it's like almost, and then, but yeah, you can kind of see that there's purple sparkles on it, but those just, again, fall on my face and just looks black. So I just use it as black and just make sure I know to clean up my face after I apply it. Oh, and as far as how many uses I've had on it, you can see I've done a very good job with this one. I already had it in, so no problems there. This was, I had it in for a bit because in my deck of panning, I was trying to get so many uses on this shade. So while I had it in for that, I was using the other shades too. So, oh, again, that's the Tarte's Pro Remix. And that same friend also gifted me this eyeshadow palette, which I'm not sure how you pronounce, if it's Prados Beauty, I'm not sure. And this one, I finished off some shades with my 5 uses, and then I made sure to get through them all. But this palette is decent. The main problem I have is that the colors don't look the same in the palette as they do on me. And so it makes it hard to kind of plan out what I want to do because, you know, I'll see like this one, and it looks like it would be on the more brown side, but, and even on my finger it does, but then when I use it, it ends up just a very different color. Oh, this looks like it's like cream, but it shows up actually dark enough to be a blush on me somehow. And it's pretty. It's just, you know, it's not how I would expect it to be. So that's a little bit of a challenge, but I mean, they apply fine. These are more metallic type of shimmers. So they're not as shiny as the Tarte ones. They're a little different. But then I guess I should say they're more like a satin type of finish. But that's kind of nice too, because then I can use them almost like mattes. So, you know, I like satins as well. And I do like there's a variety here of colors to use, so I can mix them with other things. So like I said, the main thing is just some of the colors don't appear the same way, and so, you know, makes it a little bit interesting then for doing the looks. All right, what else can I show you? Oh, so a palette I did not ask for. It was a freebie with purchase. This Ulta one. This is terrible. Probably the worst palette I've ever used, and I don't plan on using this. I just haven't brought myself to throw it out yet. So yeah, do not recommend, would not buy any of their eyeshadows, just not good. It doesn't even really have a name, so there you go. All right, this one, do you know what this is? You can read the names, probably get a guess. It is the Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette. So I actually wore this palette the day that we took my son to get tested for a peanut allergy, with the hope that maybe it would bring me some luck, but no, unfortunately, he has a peanut allergy, and that's that. But it's okay, I can still wear this. There's no actual peanuts in it. So you can see I hit pan in every single shade because I've had it for a while, and that was a goal. The Too Faced shadows are really hard to hit pan in, but, you know, I did it. And they're quite warm, so again, not my favorite when it's like so orangey, but I did. And also these shades are kind of, their shimmers are just dry, and they can look okay, but it's definitely getting old, but they were also never the best, although this one is still very soft. So there's that. But yeah, just I thought about trying to finish this one off, but I'm like, wait, these mattes, that's not happening. All right, this one I bought when it was on sale because I knew for Urban Decay, that's what you do. Actually no, oh yeah, I forgot. This is my third Urban Decay palette. I had one a long time ago, and then I bought, there was like a smoky one. It was like some special type of one. And then this one I got with the sale. And you can see I have pan on 4, 5, 6, 7 shades. This one quite a bit. I like this better than a lot of people I've seen on YouTube talk about it. And even the mattes are fine. They're like the standard ones that I'd had in the other Urban Decay palettes where they're pretty firmly pressed, but you know, they work. This one's more almost like satiny, but again, I'm fine with satins. The main thing is that these can cause a lot of fallout as I'm putting them on, so I just have to make sure I'm using some sort of glitter glue and be very careful. So that's the Stoned Vibes palette. Alright, then I have this palette from Colored Rain that I got sort of as a giveaway type of thing, and at the time it was only available in this like weird book form, so that's what I have. I have in this whole palette just the one pan, but it is on the newer side, so that's, you know, part of it. You can see I've only wait, is that just the one? I think that is. I'm not sure if that, no, I didn't use that one yet. So yeah, it's just the one color that I use. So, you know, there you go. But it's in my rotation right now, and I like it. I kind of wish there was maybe a little bit more variety here. They look more different than they actually do, I feel like, for me. It's like, I mean, they're different, but I just don't use maybe quite so bright of red pinky things on my eyes all the time. So there's that, and that's called, what is it called? Oh, the Juicy Boost palette from Colored Rain. And speaking of Colored Rain, I had, why can't I think of the name? I can't think of the name of this one. It's their rainbow palette with all the mattes. They were sold as singles and then they made a palette, or was it the other way around? But either way, I'd wanted it for a while and I eventually got it. And then I thought, because these pans are magnetic, so I thought that this one would be magnetic, and apparently it's not. I discovered that when I was trying to pull this one out, and then I just had this kind of loose purple shade. I put a magnet with it, and then I just went ahead and destroyed the packaging, did the others. But you can see I butchered some of these quite bad, and like they're loosely in there, so like every time I try to store this palette flat like this so that it doesn't get worse, but that's where we're at. You can see I have used everything once so far this year, so you know, making progress there. And what else do we have? Actually, that is it for my palettes. So in my next video, I will show you my singles.